हरि ओम सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु दीर्घायुष्मान् भव स्त्रीभ्यः दीर्घसुमङ्गली भव कन्यास्त्रीभ्यः शीघ्रमेव विवाहप्राप्तिरस्तु व्यापारजनेभ्यः कोटिकोटिलाभं सम्पाद्यं प्राप्तिरस्तु सर्वमङ्गलानि अभिवृद्धिर्भवतु तदास्तु. So I am today continuing my next episode about the God particle, the God, who is the God, what is a karma and what is a maya, and how these things fit into each other. Because at one point of time or one portion of time you say it is maya, then you come back to karma and then God and then worship. How does this fit into the science? Now science is very clear, maya is very clear. Science says it is maya, either through all these experiments and by the recent Nobel Prize winners. World is unreal. So it cannot, anything has to be truth only if it is permanent and eternal. That much is very clear. Now then comes karma. What is this karma? How does it fit here? How does God fit here? Now, when you say maya, and it has been established not only by Mandukya Rishi as well as Gaudapadar, but also by Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, all these verses we saw in, I think, the last episode number 7 of Mandukya Upanishad, that maya is very clear. Then how does karma come? Yes, inside this world of maya, where in maya itself we have to feel the reality. What is the reality? We feel we are real. We assume that we are going to exist. We have a sense of possession. Everything is ours. We have a sense of emotions, jealousy, happiness, the desire, the lust, the kama, krodha, moha. All these things are there, which you cannot escape, because I want to have a good health and I want to have name and fame. So all this emotional point of view, you cannot simply ignore and say everything is maya. So the reality comes into the play in our practical way, daily life. Let us assume that the life is 100 years. And if a person falls sick, he immediately rushes to the doctor, or if he is going to celebrate a marriage, he goes to a big mantaps and celebrates the marriage, or he goes to travel and all. Everything activity people yearn for, right? That you cannot overrule. Then how does this karma come? What is this karma when the world is maya? See, karma is again based on science. As I told you, matter cannot be created or destroyed. So any matter, whether it is a physical matter or emotional consciousness, the prajna, it comes in succession from birth to birth, from generations to generation, over a period of so many 13.72 billion light years. It comes and gets fixed, indoctrinated in our minds regarding tangible assets as well as intangible assets. So that is how the reality of you seeing a sun and moon comes into the play. Therefore, karma is a very basic law, where as per your karma, if Bhagavan says you exist, and Bhagavan also, and Bhagavan, not only Bhagavan, but even if you people who do not believe in God, the scientists also say that the reincarnation is a proven fact. That Ian Stevenson, all those people have proven very clearly that reincarnation is there, and reincarnation has to be there, where matter cannot be created or destroyed. It comes after the consciousness comes after in waves and waves and waves and waves, and occupies its place through matter, or we do not know, through our the body. The pancha indriyas is created, the 5 indriyas, 5 senses are created only through maya, and it occupies and makes us all feel the same thing, and all of us see the sun in the same way, describe the sun in the same way, because it has been indoctrinated over a period of generation, over a period of time. If people go on telling you something, you get influenced. Is it not? Even hypnotists, psychologists, they can influence you. A simple doctor or a lawyer can influence you. He tells you take this medicine, simple ordinary medicine, which can give you a nocebo effect or a placebo effect. So the reincarnation is there, as Bhagavan says in chapter 2, verse 22 and 27. Chapter 2, what it says is simple. Everybody knows this verse, right? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naraha aparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. You throw your shirt when it is getting old and wear a new shirt, just like the Atma enters into a new body. Simple. Then again in 27, same chapter 2, he tells to Arjuna, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrutyuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmat apari harye arthe na tvam soshitum argasi. Jatasya, of the born, death is certain. Janmam is also certain of the dead. So in this inevitable, apari harye arthe, in the meaning of this inevitability, definiteness, there is no reason. You don't deserve to grieve. So, but it very clearly establishes that there are incarnations, rebirths that's going on as per your laws of karma. You have to have the basic karma comes after you. That's what I said. And then based on the belief on God or your good activities during this period of time, if your karma is for sorrow only, that sorrow will be mitigated. If your karma, previous karma is for happiness only, that happiness will be increased. See, this is a very clear fact. So I'm going to give you a mathematical equations also later on of how these basic things can come. And therefore, these gods or devas or whatever it is, whatever you want to assume and think, you have to worship them because they are all powers of nature. They are all powers of nature, and in that nature, different powers, like different specialists in medicine or doctors, different doctors are there, each specializing in various fields or each being acquired special skills in various fields. Mathematicians are there, different engineers are there, different entrepreneurs are there, different advocates are there, different laborers are there, everywhere different sportsmen are there with each different capability. So likewise, when you tap those sources of energy by traveling those frequency lines, your daily requirement, some temporary requirement is satisfied, is fulfilled, or your losses or sorrows are mitigated, or if your karma is for your happiness, then that is increased. Abhivriddhir bhavati. So this karma has to come from birth after birth, in this world of Maya. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, that again proven in science, again through our body only, because the body sees everything. The body pictures everything, and it also knows about the reincarnation system. It also reads the Bhagavad Gita. It also reads everything. So through the body you either enjoy happiness or suffer sorrows. That's the only thing. So this body will have this karma. This consciousness will get transferred from one birth, reincarnation from one birth to the other, and the matter changes its form, the body, and then it can be a different matter anywhere in this universe, different matter of various formulations. If you have these five senses, typical five senses, you can possess a human body, and through human body you see the sun and the moon, the mountains, the stars and the rivers. For example, your friends, your father, your mother, everybody. But the matter can be different. We do not know, and what type of a body it enters and how those senses are there, we do not know. But the consciousness appears to be same. It is sarvavyapi, it is everywhere. That is what Bhagavan beautifully says in chapter 8 and verse number 6 in Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam va api smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam va iti sadha kaunteya tat bhavam bhavita. Beautiful. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Yam yam, whatever smaran you are thinking of, smaran bhavam, images or your thoughts you are remembering. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram. Kalevaram is another Sanskrit word for body, the shell, the body. Ante, the ending body. Tyajati, when you are throwing away the ending body. That means when you are dying, when a person is dying, he throws away his mortal remains. Yam yam va api smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam va iti sadha. That only, yam yam tam tam. So tam tam, that body only, he will, the bhavam only will bhavita, will happen to him. That means whatever he thinks during the last stages of his life, that is being carried on like a torchbearer. One fellow in the relay race, he gives hands over to the other hands over to the other. Likewise, it goes on, like wave after wave. So that's what Bhagavan very clearly says. This consciousness happens. So what you have to have is, if you think good, you may be born as a correct person in the next birth. So that consciousness takes place. The consciousness is a wave of energy which doesn't actually dissipate, but it spreads all over and enters the matter. The matter is the body. And The body, how is going to suffer or enjoy, depends on whatever it has done as per its karma. That is in its previous birth, several previous births. You can imagine crores and crores and crores and crores and crores of years you are enjoying, or you have been born, reborn, reborn. Once you are in this world, you would have undergone so many births, we do not know. If you are not in this body, if nothingness is there, that means you are merged with the divine light. So there is no rebirth and you don't recognize anything. That stage of Turiya, as Mandukya Rishi says, is a stage without any thoughts. He classifies into 4 stages, no? Jagarita, that is the waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state, and the Turiya. In the Turiya, you don't have any Karya Karana Bhava. Nothing, cause and effect does not exist there. That is the finality of the state. That is called Turiya, the 4th state. That's what Mandukya Rishi says. So you get into the 4th state, then there will be no explanation like Vishwanathan talking to you, or Einstein talking to you, or writing books, or E equal to mc squared. Nothing is being realized in those states. So that's whatever you think for, but for the practicality, within the Maya framework, if you are here, you will have to undergo this unreal practical life. The unreality becomes a reality because of your senses and because of the ignorance of a man, thinking everything to be real, because that is due to ignorance, says the Rishi. Error and ignorance is the waking state. See, if you start, the moment you think about the 4th state or the Turiya, matter is over. There will not be any good man or bad man or cause and effect. Nothing is there. It's a state of Anandam, a state with intelligence. That's what they say. Sarvagyam, I told you. So that state, if you are there, then there is no equation like E equal to mc squared. There is no satellite, there is no rocket, there is no military, there is no nations, no seas, no oceans, no mountains. Nothing is there. That is the 4th state. If you don't achieve the 4th state, again Bhagavan says, in this world of Maya, impractical, unreal world, you will be born and again, and you have to cancel all your conscious, the body's experience of bad things and good things has to be cancelled till you realize the full stage. So during this experience, you have to have the power of the devas or the energies inside this Maya, because every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. You can't escape these laws even though they are inside the Maya, because through the Maya you experience reality which is unreal. So I'll give you a simple mathematical equation for those of you who are interested in mathematics. So we have a linear regression, that is x-axis and y-axis. Y, the variable which you want, is always a constant a plus bx. B is the slope of the line, and x is one variable. So what happens is, y, for example, if you take medical health, your longevity in life, sickness free or whatever it is, arogya life, a life without sickness, disease free life, and the longevity, that is y, you keep is one variable, is a. What is this a? It's a constant, it will never change. Now this a is the genetic genes you inherit at the time of the birth. It's a very important factor, your genes. Then comes one variable, you take x, then that slope, that is how far it is affecting the independent variable y, is the slope. When you plot the data, you have to plot statistical data, and that will be b. That is what you say, x, b is a measuring, and x1 is what you say, you are a vegetarian. That will have the impact on your longevity. So b1 x1 plus, if you put b2 x2, what is x2? Non-smoking. You don't smoke. So that non-smoking or smoking, your smoking habits, you can put a number there depending on how many days you smoke, how many weeks you smoke, or how many times you smoke, how many minutes you smoke, how many cigarettes. You can put a variable there, x2. So that will have an impact on your y, which is your long life. Then you come to b2, bo, b1. Then you come to the next third variable, which you can say good food, good food. Okay. Then again you go to next, that is called x3, long sleep. Then x4, stress free. b4 will measure x4 and its impact on y. This is called multiple linear regression analysis. So your longevity depends first on your genetics. You may inherit a good, like if you see some people are tall, means they inherit a tall gene, for example. Or some people like Negroids are there, Caucasians are there, Mongoloids are there, they have that gene, even broadly speaking. So, and some people that, but if you are, even if you are a very strong man by genes, but if you start smoking 5 cigarettes a day, it will have its impact on your longevity. If you are highly stressful, it will lag. If you are stress free, it will again have an impact of increasing the longevity. So the Y will be determined by all these multiple linear factors. Similarly is your spirituality. What is spirituality? Your not Y. Y is your ability to merge with the divine. Being highly spiritual depends on A, your karma. If your karma on the previous birth is bad, as a person may have been a killer, this year also, this life also, that A will have the killing instinct, the genes. Plus, all these variable. One variable is deep devotion to God, to various powers of nature. 2, not speaking lies at all. 3, service to others. 4, charity. It all has an impact on his Y, which will be his spirituality, which will be his merging with the divine nature. So basically he will inherit the A. Y equals, I said, A plus BX plus B2 X2 plus BX means BX1, B2 X2, B3 X3, like that. Each variable will be like his devotion, service, charity, truthfulness, not speaking lies at all. If he is a liar, then that will have his impact on his spirituality. But the A is always the previous karma, which he cannot escape. That is the constant. Therefore, we have to understand very well, as per Hindu philosophy, which is the correct philosophy which matches technology, I would say that in this world of Maya, we feel everything is real. We have the sense of enjoyment, we have the sense of suffering, we have everything, the sense of lust, the sense of yearning for things, the sense of desire, you cannot escape. But it all depends on the previous karma, the A, what you were before. If a hyena eats the deer, then the hyena will have to have the same suffering in the next karma, which becomes its A, and that is, the deer will become the hyena, and the hyena will become the deer, and that will cancel out, if it has to be going in on cancellation. And then what happens? Everything is depending on the other variables, like your bhakti, your devotion, your charity, your truthfulness, your service to the humanity, everything, so that the finality of you merging with the Almighty, so that there is no birth, depends on all these multiple linear factors. That is mathematical way of putting, just like your health. You may have a very strong health, but if a person starts drinking daily, he will die. A person who's not at all is a teetotaler, it's a total teetotaler, total non-smoker, but they may inherit a very weak gene, but still that will have its impact on the long life, because he's being very good with his health. It will increase his health, but the A can bring him down because he had inherited a bad gene, a weak gene. Okay, my dear friends, with this I presume that I have clarified the doubts of the God particle and how the God comes and how he influences the various gods in our wishful desires. And then plus, he cannot totally remove your karma. That is how even the best doctor cannot cure a man sometimes, or the best bhakti cannot alleviate your suffering. It cannot remove your suffering, it can alleviate your suffering. Likewise is the equation, Y is equal to A, the constant, and your previous karma, and then the other variables. So I think I have made the matter very clear, and I wish everyone follows the righteous path, the Sanatana Dharma, and be happy in their life till they merge with the Almighty. Bhuyat Tavat Shubha Mangalam. Hari Om.